Time to leave. Good morning, it's day 7, Saturday. Time to leave. It snowed into the evening, and then sometime through the night quit snowing, but it rained all night. And the tent did its job, a little bit wet on the inside though. Maybe more from condensation, I don't know. Anyway, we're gonna skip breakfast and we are out of here. Looks like puke and poop. We're just passing by Poboktan Campground and still on our way down to Poboktan Trailhead. 7.6 kilometers. The trail is a mess. No surprise with all the snow and the rain. Not a terrible day though. I mean, it's just a very light mist. It's not really a rain, so it's not terrible. It's comfortable. So we're getting close to the highway now. I think it's probably about 2 kilometers, a little over a mile. And this trail, I seem to recall in one of my hiking books, and it would have been, I think, published in the late 70s, early 80s. I think it was called 94 Hikes or 95 Hikes in the Canadian Rockies, and it described this trail, and I think, if I remember right, it was wet and boggy, and things haven't changed in 40 years. Now, mind you, with the snow and the rain that we had last night, I think any trail would be wet and boggy and a mess, but I think under normal circumstances, there's certain areas, certain spots on this trail, it would just be a mess because they're kind of low, they have rocks and roots in them and just a lot of water. Trent and I had to go sideways 6 or 8 feet to get around it. Kind of reminded us of hiking the West Coast Trail, same thing, or the Wet Coast Trail. So as we get closer to the end of the trail, I thought it was time for a joke. So a madam at a brothel in New Orleans opens the door to find a rather good-looking, sharp-dressed man, probably in his late 40s, early 50s. And she says, "Can I help you, sir?" And he says, "Yes, I'm here to see Valerie." And she says, "Sir, Valerie is one of our most expensive girls. Would you like someone else?" And he says, "No, I'm here to see Valerie." So the madam goes to get Valerie, brings her back, introduces her to the gentleman. Off they go, they do their thing. An hour later, the man leaves. The next night, the man shows up at the brothel again. And the madam says, "Sir, there is no discount here 2 nights in a row." And he says, "I don't care, I want Valerie." So she goes to get Valerie, comes back. Valerie and the gentleman go do their thing. An hour later, the man leaves. The next night, the man shows up at the brothel again. And he says, "I'm here to see Valerie again." And the madam says, "Sir, no one has ever been with Valerie 3 nights in a row. Are you sure you want to do this?" And he said, "Yes, I'm positive. I want Valerie." So the madam goes to get Valerie. Valerie comes from the back, meets the gentleman. They go do their thing. An hour later, they're getting dressed. Valerie says to the gentleman, 3 nights in a row, wow, that's really impressive. Where are you from? He says, "I'm from St. Louis." She looks at him and laughs and says, "Oh, that's funny. I've got family in St. Louis." And he says, "Yes, I know. Your sister passed away. I'm her attorney, and she asked me to give you your $30,000 inheritance. Well, we're coming up on the Sunwapta Warden Centre, and you can see the highway bridge in the distance over there. This will mark the end of our journey. It has been a real adventure. Loved every, well, maybe not every minute of it, but loved it. This is such a great trail. Hopefully you'll hike it. So what a great adventure. 130 kilometers, 80 miles, 1 week of real adventure. It was awesome. I loved it. Just walking over the highway bridge now back to the parking lot. Great views, great scenery. The Fords, Fords are always interesting. I think we had 7 one day, probably 15 in total. Interesting campsites. It was nice to have campfires pretty much every night. We didn't the last 2 nights. We didn't see anybody on the trail after Sunday night at Medicine Tent. All in all, a great trip. I highly recommend it. I hope you can get out there and hike it sometime. I want to thank Trent for hiking along with me.
Glad to be here.
I want to thank you for hiking along with us. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit the like button, smash it, and share it with your friends. Let them know that you hiked this trail with us. And subscribe for the next video.